Well, for the 49ers, you would think, after all the releases and all the stuff they lost in free agency, would drop them in the Super Bowl odds. You would be surprisingly wrong in that circumstance.
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he got.
Let's talk football. Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Round Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the Super Bowl odds, primarily how high the 49ers are ranked. So, recently, after the free agency period came to a close, the committee redid their Super Bowl odds, remained with the Eagles and Chiefs as the two best favorites, with the Eagles sitting at plus 650 and the Chiefs sitting at plus 700. With the Ravens and Bills sitting behind them, then the Lions and Bengals, and then the Commanders and 49ers. With notably the Rams, Packers, Texans, Vikings, Broncos, and Bucks ranked behind them. But the question is, well, you saw from my video, I'm not so sure about all this. So I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Before we get started, though, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's talk about the Niners on how drastically they overrated they are. For the 49ers, I just gotta say, what in the Sam Hill are these committee people on? Because they need to be drug tested. And you know what? Hold on just a second. You know when I put these glasses on, I mean business, and I ain't messing around. First of all, how do you rank a team this high that traded Deebo Samuel and Jordan Mason, who was worth a sixth?
Did you forget who I am? What have I done?
I think he was worth like a second or third round pick, so the Vikings definitely got a steal on that. Also, primarily released candidates that were Javon Hargrave, he went to the Vikings, Malik Collins, who went to the Browns, Leonard Floyd, and also their long snapper. Also, they lost a boatload of their guys for others signing somewhere else. They lost to Leo Funga and Dre Greenlaw to the Broncos. They lost Aaron Banks to the Packers, Charvarius Ward to the Colts, also along with a few others that are notable on this list. I mean, what? And not only that, your two top notable signings was to sign DeMarcus Robinson, who is a decent wide receiver, and on top of it all, you signed Mac Jones, who is an expired bag of chips. I mean, I don't know what these people are on that are creating these odds. I think they personally need to be drug tested because that is blasphemous. And I'm looking at the rest of the teams that are behind them. I'm looking at the Rams. I'm taking them ahead of them right now. I'm looking at the Packers. I'm taking them ahead of the Niners anyway. Right now, I'm looking at the Texans. They're better than the Niners. I'm looking at the Vikings. They're better than the Niners. I'm looking at the Bucks. They're better than the Niners. I'm looking at the Broncos. They are 10 times better than the Niners. Heck, maybe even the Cardinals and Seahawks for all I care.
You are a toy!
Now, Sam Darnold still has a lot to prove. So for right now, I would go with that. But this is utterly atrocious. If I had the Niners ranked right now outside of the division with both sides as a whole, I'd probably have it ranked 15. Because that's where they deserve to be ranked after releasing half of their roster. They don't even have a full roster. They have a third of a roster, a 3/4 of a roster. And we haven't even hit the NFL draft yet. So calm down. What in the world are these people on? They're either drunk or they're 49er fans. They are either drunk or not a fans because there is no way in a million years that the 49ers should be ranked this high. I'm looking at these other teams. I'm looking at all those people I just named. They are so much better than the Niners are right now. They have depth. They have weapons. They got a competent quarterback. They got everything you need. 49ers right now don't. They let go of arguably their best wide receiver that only had a down year because Christian McCaffrey and Ayuk were both hurt. We're looking at a person that they traded away for a sixth. He was worth like a second or third. I mean, Jordan Mason, he was 10 times better than Christian McCaffrey. Now, Christian McCaffrey was hurt for most of the year. He's probably not going to be the same again. I'm looking at the guys that they lost that are notable to me are Leonard Floyd, who was your second leading sacker, Javon Hargrave, who was a decent stud. I'm looking at Tulio Funga and Trey Greenlaw. When healthy, they are studs, and they are going to make the Broncos a lot better. I actually think right now the Broncos are the fourth best team in the AFC right now. That's what I'm thinking right now in my head. Also, Charvarius Ward was not injured last year, and you let him go to the Colts? The Colts, who are not even near contention right now. Also, Joshua Dobbs, who you let go to the Patriots, I believe personally is better than Brock Purdy right now. Some people are going to put up an argument, but hear me out. Joshua Dobbs was really decent last year. And if I put him in that same weapons that Purdy had last year, he probably gets him to 9-8. That's what I'm thinking in my mind right now. Also, other guys they re-signed. They released Kyle Juszczyk and then re-signed him. That's going to pay him. That's going to cost him more money. I also look at a few signs they made. I'm looking at Luke Farrell. Who the heck is that? A tight end from nowhere? Also, and you signed Mac Jones, who's a bag of chips backup. I am for real serious. This committee needs to be investigated. They need to be for real investigated because there is no way they should be ranked this high. They are right now, if I had to say, the 14th or 15th best team in the NFL. If I'm being respectful. The 49ers, they lost half their roster. How are they ranked still number 8? Just remember, a few videos ago when I went over this same exact thing, they were ranked 6th. After free agency, they only dropped 2 spots, which I correctly predicted the Commanders and Bengals ahead of them. I predicted that part when I went over that in that video, so that's another story for another day. My point is, the Niners aren't even fully a team yet. We don't know what the Niners are going to be. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if Brock Purdy's going to get paid $40 or $70 million because they have all that cap space for who knows what. We don't know if they're going to be a good offense next year, if they're going to be average. We don't know if their defense is going to get better under Robert Saleh. We don't know these things. And for some reason, we are thinking that the 49ers are right now ranked ahead of the Rams, who are 10 times better than the Niners. This is utterly atrocious. I am so sick and tired of this. And if it comes out of my mouth, I'm not going to be able to contain myself because I'm barely able to right now. Why are the Niners still ranked this high? They should have dropped 10 spots after that free agency. They should have dropped at least 9 or 8. But no, they dropped 2? 2 after what we saw them release? I get they still got Nick Bosa. I get they still got Fred Warner. I get they still got Brock Purdy. I get they still got Ayuk, Chris McCaffrey, George Kittle, and Jawan Jennings and those guys. But my point is, we can't come to conclusions. We don't know that the Niners are going to beat the Rams this year. We don't know if the Niners are going to be competitive at all. We don't know this. Because Kyle Shanahan, this is a man that coaches scared. This is a man that lost 3 Super Bowl leads. Has coached scared. Remember, in the game they had last year, in week 17, what were they doing in the first half that was beating them? They were running the football. Then they go into the second half and just pass galore? What? I mean, it's either that or Kyle Shanahan's scared of what happened in Super Bowl 51. Because ever since then, it's been the case. When we look at Super Bowl 54, they were running the ball. They got away from that and lost the game. When they were running the ball in the NFC Championship game a few times, it was working. You got away from it. When you were running the ball in the Super Bowl 58, you were running the ball and it was working. Why would you go away from something that wasn't working? And I want to mention this because I feel like this has to be said. If Jimmy G hits Emmanuel Sanders for that touchdown, they'd probably win the Super Bowl. I mean, are you kidding? Because that probably would have guaranteed him a Super Bowl if Jimmy Garoppolo made that pass and actually got it to Emmanuel Sanders. If he actually got it to him, they probably would have been a 6-time Super Bowl champion by now. But instead, you are coaching scared because you are terrified of what is going to come with it, about what criticism comes with it. Because remember, people were pounding the heck out of Jimmy Garoppolo and the non-faithful for what happened in that Super Bowl. And they did so this past year, 2 years ago, when they lost that Super Bowl. There was no excuse. You had everything you needed. Last year, you had injuries. But now, you're supposed to get a pass for letting go half your roster? I'm telling you this right now. If they have a losing season and miss the playoffs, I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm saying if it does, we are going to question the culture in San Francisco. We are going to question whether or not John Lynch should still be the GM. We are going to question if Kyle Shanahan should still be in San Francisco. We are going to question all these things. And for some weird reason, we think just because they at least have their roster, they're not going to miss a single beat. I mean, I said about the Vikings, but at least they actually did something. Not like the Niners that let go have their roster and have yet to sign a big time free agent. Amari Cooper is still out there. Diggs is still out there. And you take the Marcus Robinson over those two? What? You have the money. You could have got Josh Sweat. You could have had Cooper Kupp instead of Seattle. You could have had those guys. But you remain cheap and you go after an average receiver in Demarcus Robinson and a bag of chips backup in Mac Jones with all these free agents out there. Those are your two only notable signings. This is front office. It has to be the most boneheaded front office in the National Football League. And if that ain't my case, look at their family. Look at the family that owns the franchise. The York family. I talked about that in a future video, in a past video, but you all want to go look at that. I'm not going to say all of that. But the Niners are too highly ranked, and I mean it. They were too highly ranked, and this is a reason why. They lost half their roster. And we think that they're just going to change, that they're going to stay the same. They are going to change. We're not accustomed to that. Teams change every year. But for some reason, we still have them in the top 8. Atrocity. And I believe they need to be, the front office of that odd creating has to be investigated full out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think the 49ers are ranked in the bright spot? Let me know in the comments what you think, but if you say they are, you're wrong. Because there's no way. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.